Hi everyone! Today I want to walk you through the process of punch needling a wall art. I love this because it is a beautiful color and texture combination, and it took only a nice peaceful afternoon to finish. The kit I will be using is a punch needle beginner kit. It's designed by myself. The inspiration comes from my garden in the spring. In the spring, everything is so ready to start a new year, and it looks full of hope. The frame is not only the work surface when you are punch needling, it is also can be the finished art frame to be hung on the wall. For this kit, I've drew the pattern on the frame so that you can start right away. The side with the pattern is the back of the piece, and we will do most of our punching from this side. To start, we will need to thread the punch needle. Use your finger to block the opening of the needle, then take the threader, push it all the way through the small hole in the needle's tip. Then take the yarn to put it through the threader. Pull the threader out, leave about 3 centimeters of yarn in the front. Now it's time to make our first stitch. Push your needle into the fabric. When pulling out, the yarn will be held by the tension of the fabric and stays in it. For each punch, you want to push all the way until the wooden handle touches the fabric, and then slowly pulling out the needle just until you see the tip of the needle move about 3 holes forward, and then do the next punch. You don't want to pull the needle too far from the cloth like I'm doing right now, because it will cause the small loop on the back side, and we don't really want it. If you want to fix this problem or any other mistake, just pull out the yarn. Use the punch needle's tip to scratch the cloth gently. The magic happens. The big holes disappear like nothing happened. And then when you want to make new stitch, gently pull the yarn from the back of the needle until you feel the tension, and then redo the stitches like the first time. Changing direction is super easy. At first, you could just rotate the frame. The reason to do this is that we want to make the opening of the needle always facing the direction you want to go, so that it will always make smooth stitches. Always make sure the yarn is laying freely on top of your hand. It is loose and there is slack on the side. If there is tension on the behind, to pull the yarn, it will prevent the yarn from staying inside of the fabric. If you find the yarn comes out of the cloth all the time and won't stay in, check if there is tension pulling out the yarn. It's always the number one reason that makes the yarn comes out of the cloth. Look at those cute loops on the front side. For the second lap, we could use a brick formation. That is, your punching position for the second lap is between the 2 punching positions of the first lap. It is like laying bricks for a wall. Just like that, the shape will be filled in with yarns. When you finish a certain shape, slowly pull out the needle until you see the tip of it, and then use the other hand to press on the yarn while pulling out the needle furthermore. Then leave about 1 centimeter and snip the thread. Let's look at the front. It is the side to be displayed when it's finished. For this project, I want the blue square to be more furry, so I'll use a pair of scissors to cut the loops in half at the top. Please be careful not to cut the fabric accidentally. If you preferred the loopy feeling of it, you could skip this step as well. It's totally up to you. Okay, now we cut all the loops. We could clean this up, either use a lint roller or a hairdryer. Now we switch color. Let's use this moss green for this shape. The way to thread the needle is exactly the same as the previous color. If you feel the tail is in your way, you could just snip it off, leave about 1 centimeter. For this curved line, we still want to make the opening of the needle facing forward to the way it travels. So it means we can slowly turn the direction of the needle as we're punching. Keep in mind that we always want slack on the side. Since we will show the loop side when it's finished, we don't need to worry about the gaps you see on the back. The loop will cover up gaps. It's normal that sometimes we will get this sort of super high loop. We could just snip it off. Using the same technique, let us finish the moss green, the pink, and the beige area. With this yellow part, we want to create a different texture, so we will use a technique called flat stitch to make this area. The way to do a flat stitch is quite easy, since you're already familiar with the basic punch needle process. What we have to do is just flip the frame over and work from the front side instead of the back side. In this case, we are also using the break formation. Between each punch, when we move the punch needle forward, we want to keep the tip of the needle close enough to the fabric so that the stitch will be smooth. Also, we want to make the stitches dense enough so that we won't see the backing fabric through the stitches. Now the area is filled in. We flip to the back and cut off the yarn that's sticking out of the needle, and the tail is left on the back. And now let's do something different to make this piece more textured. We will be using this blunt yarn needle, and we will use the same threader to thread the needle. Cut a section of the yarn, and we start from the back side of the frame. Push the needle in and pull it out like this. Tie a knot to lock the yarn in place. If you look closely, our fabric on frame is made of grid, so when we push the needle in again, we could find the holes in the next column or the next row. This way, our pattern will be all parallel and neat. From now, we can flip the frame to the front and work from the front. When we choose the hole to put the needle in, we want to make sure the hole is not already hold yarn like this one, because the needle will possibly bring the previous yarn out too. What we want to do is to choose the new hole to put our needle. Alright, now this area is filled in with yarn. Let's flip to the back again and tie the tail onto the yarn so that they are securely attached on the frame. And then repeat the process for all similar areas. When doing so, if we find the yarn is not enough to finish the area, we can tie the tail on the yarn like it have already finished. And then we take a new section of yarn and continue this process. Now we are really close to the finish. Let us add a highlight to this fiber art project. Take the pink yarn and wrap it 15 times around your 4 fingers. Make 5 of them. Thread the needle with this strawberry red yarn. Stick the needle out from the back, leave a tail, and then push the needle back in. Tie a knot to secure the yarn, and then repeat for several times to attach the pink yarn on the fabric, tight and secure. On the back, it looks like this. And then we tie the tail on the yarn to finish it. Now we can cut all the loops in half with a pair of scissors. If the fringe is uneven and you want to even it out, you could take your scissors and just trim them. And now they are the same length. As an art piece that we usually hang on the wall or place it on the shelf, it is quite safe because the yarn is held by the tension of the fabric and will not fall out unless being pulled out with some force. To make it even more secure, in this kit I provided a felt backing with adhesive tape on one side. You could stick it firmly on the back of the piece. Please note that once it has been sticked onto it, do not peel it off again, since it possibly will bring the yarn out from the fabric with its sticky side. Okay, that's it, you did it. You have created your own punch needle art piece. I hope you love what you've made with your hand and also you enjoyed this whole process. If you haven't got this kit and wish to do the exact project yourself, you could find this kit in my Etsy shop, Tiny Hand Rugs. I've also put the link in description below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click on the like button and it will help me a lot. Have a nice day and see you next time. Bye!